The next episode. Today is Sunday, February 19th, but I'm doing a whole series of videos in this one sitting. So we're going to backtrack it to last Tuesday, February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. I know I had a pretty good day when I got home from class, I'll say that much. But it was an 8-hour day. I had a lecture at 1:15 for Principles and Applications of Electricity, and then I had a lab at 5 for Audiotronics. So let's get into the lecture. That came first. The lecture was all about AC voltage or theory. And AC electricity is it's not as confusing as some things. But it definitely it took me a little bit to wrap my mind around some of the concepts. And one of the things to keep in mind is that AC electricity is basically, what's the word? It's basically the same thing as like sound waves and stuff, in the sense that it goes up and then down. So with sound waves, you have your compressions and rarefactions, and basically the compressions would be where the pressure is high, so the wave goes up, and then your rarefaction is where it comes down. Same thing with AC electricity. There will be, excuse me for a second. Sorry about that. And then it'll go down when there's less, when it's going the opposite direction. So AC electricity goes back and forth, and it creates the sine wave. So in that sense, they're the same things. They make sine waves. I probably made that sound way more confusing than it really is, but yeah. Anyway, and then there's like parasitic resistance is the unintentional resistance present in all conductors. So all conductors have some type of unintentional resistance because it is something. It's not an open space or whatever. We also there's one blank I don't have, but here's take a look at the notes. So there's just some stuff. And actually, surprisingly, for such, like, a big topic, there weren't that many notes. And it was kind of weird. So as far as PAE went that day, it was a little strange. Just because there weren't that many notes, but we went over a lot of stuff. And I guess that kind of brings me to a point where, in this class, in PAE, we have the lecture fill-ins, okay, but they only do so much. All the answers are not here. A lot of the other answers are in the book. I don't remember where I put the book. I think it's... yeah. So a lot of the answers are from the book. And then there's also the downloadable textbook that we get off our Propeller. But that really only has the definitions of the words for that particular lesson, and it also has some like practice questions to help supplement the material, I guess is the right way to say it. But yeah, I don't know. So there's really 3 major places that we have to get the answers from for like the homeworks and stuff, which the homework should do every lab. So there's this, and then whatever's on the computer. So it's a little strange, but I guess it makes us think a little more than having it all in one place, which I guess I kind of like that. It makes us learn stuff. But anyway, yeah, so the lecture was fine, normal. Go for it for 2 hours, take a break, go at it for the next hour and a half. And then also following that was the Audiotronics lab. Now, I think in the previous video, or the video before that actually, I made a mistake. We did not make the decision maker that day. I ended up making this on February 14th. So this was the day, this was Valentine's Day thing, which was the blinky decision maker, does she love me, does she not kind of thing, So this was on February 14th. Not the Friday before. I got that mixed up. That's why I should not wait to do videos. That day was just the desoldering and resoldering of the blinky LED. So Tuesday we actually made this. In addition to doing like more testing stuff, but instead of testing a headphone amp, we had to test I think it was a 2- or 3-way crossover. I can't remember what it was. Is this it? Yeah, Lab 5. So this was Lab 5 for AUT. And we had to fill in a little chart. So we did the crossover, we tested the crossover, and we also had to test XLR cables. And then, well, we'll get, hold up, getting ahead of myself here. So this is kind of what the chart looked like of what we had to do and fill in. And we had to do the same thing for TRS cables. So it was like an XLR on one end and TRS on the other, kind of like just your basic instrument cable. And it was basically the same thing. It looked like this, but it was just different connectors. Let's see. And then we had to make oh god. Okay. So this lab, let me tell you, I've got it over here. Alright, so in one of the first AUT labs, we made this, an XLR cable, right? In this lab, we had to make this an 1/8 inch to, or 1/8 inch to 1/8 inch headphone cable. This was a pain in the ass. I usually don't like to say those types of words in my videos, but this deserves it. So my connections in okay, so this was the first side that I did, right? Okay, so this is the first side, and I redid this just the other day. So it looked terrible to begin with. I had to like cut the whole thing and redo it. So yeah, my connections were horrible. This was the second side that I did. This one was all right. You know, I actually remembered to put the thing on there, and the connections were all nice and neat and stuff in this side. But this side was not. And the reason it's so difficult is because all the little bits are just so small. You know, like pinky finger small. You know what I'm saying? So, unlike an XLR, which is very large, these things are a pain in the butt. Or finger if you accidentally burn yourself, which happens to me on many occasions. So yeah, this was a pain. It works. Like, I can plug it into my computer and plug it into something else and record. But it's just a pain. And as you can see, like I said, in the next lab that was on Friday morning after I finished everything, I redid this, and I forgot to put the damn cap on it. I'm just like, F my life, man. So the next AUT lab, I'm gonna desolder it and resolder it again, and I'm going to remember to put the cap on because it works, but I just want the cap to be on there. So anyway, that was a pain in the butt. And then after we did that, that's when we made the decision maker. So yeah, and I was dying to get home that day because it was Valentine's Day. You know, who wants to be at school on Valentine's Day? And if you do have someone, you understand, and if not, well, hopefully you had a good day too. I don't see why anyone wouldn't have a good day anyway. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and call this video a wrap. I'll see you next time. Any questions or anything like that, let me know. I'll get back to you, and I'll see you soon.